G'day guys and gals. Okay, so I've finally gotten around to this now that I'm alive and awake. The daily contract is multi-faceted assault contract. The other ones we're going with deep infiltration, high value target, and precipitous terrain. Team we're going in with Courier, Myrtle, Vigna, and Vanilla as vanguards. So basically it's just a whole bunch stacking up as many vanguards as we can to try and sneak in as many deployment points as we can. So Courier seconds as a tank, thankfully. I am just going to be using skill 1 though, so that is that. Myrtle, obviously skill 1. The initial run of this is going to change depending on how your mastery skill is of this skill 1 though. Vigna with skill 2. And Vanilla with her only skill. Vanilla does a lot of damage. If you want, I'm not suggesting you have to, but if you want to use Scavenger, you absolutely can. There's only one deployment point difference. It's really much of a muchness. They're not going to be holding a valuable point. It's just literally, give me some deployment points, give me some damage, that's it. Perfumer for her map-wide heal talent. Gavial and Suzuro as reserve healers. Now Suzuro, again, much of a muchness. Do you want to use skill 1 or skill 2? It doesn't really matter. She probably won't need to heal much more in duress than skill 2, like the 2 uses skill 2 gets. So if you want to use skill 2, you can. Ethan with skill 2. Gravel, just a fast redeploy. Alternatively, you can bring, just as an extra, because you've got these 2 extra slots, 3 if you don't have Justice Knight yet. So if you want to bring some extra DPS, you can just sort of pick and choose between what you can and can't bring. So just as an example, like you can bring Jay. I mean, towards the end of the game, you're pretty much running on nothing. So if you want to say bring Armia with skill 3, go for it. You know, live your best life. But I would probably stick to using someone. If you want to bring a little bit of extra damage, just bring Jay with his skill 2. And you'll probably find that that'll be enough for you. I was doing this with 6, but I mean, now that I'm recording this and I see that we have extra stuff, just bring extra. So, last but not least, we're going to borrow a Ling. She needs to have skill 3. This particular Ling, not really the best in the world. No module, only E235, no mastery skills. So we're up to skill 3. So Ling skill 3. Because we need to borrow 5 support units to get all our medals. So if this helps you out, that was a little bit long-winded and a little bit sidetracked, but please subscribe. It helps me out. I always appreciate it. And if you have any dramas, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to sort them. Myrtle in straight away, because we're on the deployment point clock. So we want to get her skill used as soon as humanly possible. As I say, deployment point, mastery skills will differ, but use that skill. Vigna, over here, facing up. Now we're going to wait for these guys, and then we're going to put down Scavenger here, and Ling over here. Now I'm going to leave Ling a minute, because I just don't want to risk. If you've got like a really high level Ling, you'll end up killing one of these. So just go easy on that. Alright, so Scavenger in there. Now, again, we're just running the deployment point dealio. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to put, once I get those deployment points, there we go, our first dragon goes down the bottom here. And we're going to put Courier over here. And I'll fast forward this again, because again, we're just running on deployment points. Justice Knight over here. And now we have our first problem enemy, so we're going to be using Suzuro first, just over here. And we're just waiting for the second dragon now. So, skills again, second dragon up here. And then we're going to use Ling's skill because over here is going to back up and it's going to be really bad for everyone. So as you can see, one gets through, but that's sorted out. Suzuru's skill, because one of those smileys, little flame things, they're called smileys, blew up in the middle of the group, so we want to make sure that everybody's healed up and good to go. Okay, upgrade our bottom dragon first. Our bottom dragon's going to be the one that's taking the bulk of the headaches. So, as you can see, everything's okay. These guys block 4, so you're not under any immense stress. From here on out, though, we do want to kind of be a little bit careful with skills over here on these two, Scavenger and Vigna. So we don't want to use these skills immediately. We're getting close to when the boss comes out, so we kind of want to be aware of that. So we're basically sticking to Myrtle now exclusively for deployment points. So Suzuru's skill again. We did just lose somebody. That's okay. I'll use the fast redeploy because I want to delay what's going on over here. I want to get as much damage on this boss before it blows itself up as I can. So from here, we're just basically topping out our deployment points. So Kuri is done. Myrtle is done. We don't need her. We're going to put Perfumer over here. Now you can move Perfumer. You can move her forward here. It doesn't really matter. If you move her forward, she can heal over here, which if things go wrong, you put a healer here, so much of a muchness. So I'm going to get rid of Suzuro. This is going to blow up. It's going to be a big clusterfuck. Our dragon has thankfully survived, so let's upgrade that boyo. So now we're going to deploy Ethan. And we're just going to let this go now. This is pretty much it. Once these smileys are all accounted for, we're also going to pop in another little dragon just in behind here, under the boss's bum. These two enemies are the last two enemies, so 33 of 36, obviously. So after, only after these two enemies are dead is our crisis over. So we're going to use Ethan's skill once they get into where they are to make sure that we get exactly what we need out of them. Keep an eye on this top dragon because this top dragon can get hit by the boss. It can change its type, which means that this bottom one will sneak through and that's just bad. From here, you can really do a number of different things. It depends on really how you want to approach it. You can use J. I probably wouldn't. I would wait for your Vigna to come through. And then pop your Vigna down behind here. Because the dragon won't hit more than one target while it's still in its first phase, so Vigna here is still safe. For now. The bottom row is dead. That's it, we're done. The boss has entered its shield, so let's just make sure we get rid of that. And I'm not going to use Vigna's skill because Vigna's skill is going to cause us issues. The bottom dragon no longer needs to be there. Everything else is done. It's just the boss. So what we'll do now, as I said, we'll deploy... it doesn't really matter which of the two you want to deploy. I mean, deploy Suzuro over here. Like, you pile it up stuff behind, so it's really up to you guys where you want to put it. The boss is going to smash this healer regardless of where you put it, so... So from here, we're just going to go wild with Vigna. So our first dragon is about to croak. There it goes. So we'll place a new dragon in to upgrade the second one. And once this cycles again, we'll throw in another dragon. No, original, right? The boss does look like it's going down though, fairly well. So it's just hit a shield, which means it may actually detonate, because I don't think I'm going to have the damage to get rid of that just yet. Let's try our luck. There it goes. Shield's broken, so thankfully Ling's skill was it. If Ling's skill wasn't ready, for example, there, I probably would have left it. I would have just let it blow up and then redeployed dragons in after the fact, so it's much of a muchness. You just got to play it by ear when it gets to that point. But that's it, guys. So, as I said, this Ling is probably not as ideal as most people's Lings are, so if you've got a module sorted higher level Ling with mastery skills, you're going to laugh at this. Hope that helps, guys.